What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Instant Grits podcast. Big Tree here. Today I'm without my two normal partners. Dev is running around somewhere doing God knows what, just being little, and Lopez is still in the safari with his Mufasa face. Um, so I'm here with two of my buddies. We still want to bring you a pretty good show. Um, we kind of got away from basketball a little bit this summer, but we want to get back to it because there's been some moves and some questionable decisions by some teams. So we kind of want to give our forecast on this show of what the 2019-2020 NBA season will, what we think it'll look like from our opinion. And you guys can weigh in on that too. But in the studio today with me, you guys might remember from a previous episode, brother Mackey Park,
Yo,
the statistician.
That's me. Happy to be back.
We got him in here today to give his expert analysis, and we also got a newcomer to the podcast, but not to the studio. My music and producing partner. That's his drum work that you hear on the theme track. Mr. Keith, don't call me Ralph Simpson.
What up? Don't call me Ralph.
Now, Dev might jump in later on. I don't know. He's somewhere riding around North Philly or whatever, barely fitting over the steering wheel.
It's
But
Big Will.
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right, man. So let's jump into it. We did that last podcast on the how crazy free agency was this summer, man. Like I've never seen NBA free agency summer like this one. Like the hell with the tampering and all of that stuff. It was like they pushed it back like 2 days, and then by 6:10 we knew where everybody was going, and then none of us saw that Russell Westbrook thing
Not at all.
possibly even happen.
It just kept happening. Free agency just
I know.
kept giving.
Yeah, it was just like an avalanche. Like once the Kevin Durant move happened, it was an avalanche after that. Like everybody, and then I don't think anybody saw that Kawhi move coming with him grabbing Paul George either. That was crazy.
That was a good move.
That was crazy. You know,
Great move.
So he might have solidified himself as the all-time magician on that one because he fooled everybody, including the Lakers.
Yeah, nobody saw that. And I mean, everybody thought he was waiting to just announce something, and lo and behold, he's like having them pull the strings behind the scenes, stealing Paul George off the Thunder.
Yeah, off
Crazy.
of the Thunder, and then the thing that got me, I was watching it close. Like I was watching, I was flipping back and forth for at least like a week between Shannon and Skip and First Take with Stephen A. Smith, trying to see which one, and then seeing if Woj would drop a bomb. But it seemed like, because I know he had flew to Toronto last.
Yeah,
but
last meeting.
Right, but now it seems like at that point he already knew what he was going to do, so that was like a formality, like basically, I guess maybe a courtesy to them, which still kind of cruel because you already knew you would leave it,
Lead them on a little extra bit.
Yeah, why would you do that? But, I mean, I do think, and we can start with the West. I do think that was like one of the best free agency recruit moves that I've seen. I would even put that now ahead of LeBron getting Bosh and Wade, on that Miami Heat run, because this one you couldn't have seen it.
This
coming.
took a trade. It wasn't just guys signing there.
Exactly.
It took some serious juice behind it, and I would say that the Clippers had maybe like the best offseason any team has ever had.
Hands down. To me they won it. You won it. Well, let's start with them. Let's start with the Clippers out west.
Yeah, Clippers out west last year were what, the 8th seed?
They were 7-4 8th seed.
Yeah, they're a low seed last year. Came into the playoffs, won 2 games off of the full strength Warriors.
Hey.
And they're coming back with legitimately the same team except 2 of the 3 MVP candidates from last year.
I mean, that's
insane.
They won. They're winning.
And it's not, but and I know a lot of people already, are writing it like, okay, well, the Clippers won the West. That's it. They're the most talented or whatever. But not just going with popular opinion, I think defensively, they are going to be at least up front.
Yeah.
That's Patrick Beverly, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Like that's a tough front three defensively. I
Yeah.
know they got the kid Zubac or the big
Zubac
kid
from
that was-
L.A. Just
Yeah.
well, they're both L.A. I should say the Lakers just
Yeah.
gave them Zubac for
Different
Mike
alphabets.
Muscala.
Mike Muscala gave me fits down when he was playing for the Sixers. Anyway.
Yeah.
And they still got Lou Williams, who was Sixth Man of the Year.
Yep.
They still kept Montrezl
Montrezl
Harrell, who's a big bruising forward. I mean, so they can hit you a ton of different ways.
Think about their end of game lineup. It's Lou Will, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Montrezl Harrell, and I don't know who they're putting at.
It doesn't even
five,
matter.
but
Or they
yeah, it
could
doesn't
go
really
small
matter.
ball. They could go
Yeah.
small ball and go.
They could
Patrick
probably just
Beverly,
play 4
Lou
people
Williams,
and still
Kawhi,
win.
Yeah. Oh man, the Clippers. You know,
they're pretty complete. Like defense and offense.
Mhm.
That's complete to me.
yeah, and I think top to bottom too. To that point, and they got Doc Rivers, who's a
Exactly.
championship
Underrated
pedigree
point, yeah.
coach. So
Right.
you know, and
It's about his time.
I mean, again, yeah, and Steve Ballmer is probably what is he the richest?
Yeah, richest owner,
Wow.
and
You know, them guys not going nowhere for a while.
they work like as a lineup. Like there's, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, very soon. But there's other teams out there that added a lot of pieces that I don't think like work that well together at all.
Well,
I think the Clippers like work at least on. I mean, we haven't seen them play yet, but I think they definitely.
All right, can we pull up the Clippers roster? And this is just on paper. Of course, we got to, season has to play out. They actually got to play games, but when you talk about 2 of the 3 MVP candidates, in your starting lineup, I mean, that
Yeah.
kind of puts you a class above,
really does.
everybody else.
Yeah, they've got
Definitely.
Pat Beverly
Mhm.
at the 1. I'm not sure how they're actually going to run this. Maybe they'll put. Well, Lou usually comes off the bench, right?
Yeah, he
Lou,
comes
so
off the
He's
bench.
going to be coming off as 6th.
Mhm.
I wonder if Shamet maybe will even be 2.
Landry
could
Shamet, but he would be a great piece off the bench. He's definitely coming off the
I
bench.
mean, he's a good player. They have Paul George. They have Montrezl Harrell, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac. I mean, they got just a ton of guys. They're deep.
Jeez.
That's
They're
crazy.
deep. And, like, the thing that's crazy to me is both Paul George and Kawhi can miss a game. They could miss the same game, and they're still a team. Like, they
Yeah, they're
still
still
win.
formidable.
Yeah,
It's still
exactly. Yeah.
that's all right for them. They can still win that game. So they're a scary team.
Yeah, I will save predictions for last, but Clippers definitely won the offseason and definitely upgraded in a huge, huge way.
Teams don't make moves like that unless they want their chip now. They
Yeah.
want their championship right now.
And I mean, Kawhi. Like, speaking of Kawhi, that's exactly what Toronto did.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
That worked out. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams are going to follow suit on that.
Yeah, their
Um,
gamble worked out. They got a chip out of it for,
Uh-huh.
1 year, and that's it.
And he rolled right on out.
Yeah, and then now he's out to go do it somewhere else.
Do it one more
Except
time.
Not leave after 1 year.
All right, so I never thought I would say this in all the years I watched basketball, but who's that other LA team? Are we moving on to them next?
Something about a body of water.
Oh, okay. Is
The
it,
Lakers or the
is it
Oceaners or something.
Minneapolis? No, LA.
LA, that's
LA
right, that's
Lakers.
right, that's
there
right.
we go.
Oceaners.
So, and I'm not a Lakers hater because I love the Showtime Lakers, Magic and Kareem. I've said that on the show plenty of times. But this offseason for the Lakers, to me, talk about polar opposites. Like,
Yeah.
and even before the whole AD thing became official, you had all the drama around, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, Magic Johnson, that relationship going awry, and then, Magic coming on First Take and
Yeah,
pretty
what
much
was
just
that?
like outing everybody,
Yeah.
which, I mean, starting to kind of find out that some of that stuff was true, but at some point, you just kind of want to keep a lid on that because at least I think it hoisted a dark cloud over the organization and for the whole summer.
Yeah.
So even the AD move, even though it was like, okay, that's what they wanted to do, nobody was really surprised about that. It still was like, yeah, but how's it gonna like work? Because you don't have a team anymore.
True.
Traded away like all of these young assets that Magic was kind of cultivating and building into that Showtime type of, because that's what they were going to. Those guys were Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Kyle Kuzma, and all. They were going to run.
Those guys, they're all what, Bucks now? Some of them.
No,
they're
a lot of them
on-
went to the Pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah.
A lot of them went to the Pelicans.
Yeah, Pelicans for AD.
I think Josh
Another
Hart,
team that's gonna be
Josh
good.
Hart, Brandon Ingram, and Lonzo Ball all went
Yeah.
to the Pelicans.
That's going to be
And
ridiculous.
like 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now aside from LeBron James, who's arguably the best player on the planet, I could say that probably with confidence. But I think it'll be interesting because LeBron has been Superman for so long. Are we going to start to see that? Not necessarily a decline in his numbers, but that physical decline that we see with all mega super athletes. Like, it happened to Mike. Mike just so happened to get a lot smarter, and so he was able to stay on top a little longer. But he wasn't flying through the air. He started fading away and, just barely dunking the ball. I mean, LeBron is still pretty much a physical
That's what his
monster.
game's at, yeah.
Yeah, but that wear and tear, that 82-game season,
Yep.
that carrying the load. I don't think he'll have to do it. as much
Going to the
this year.
finals all the time, playing
Yeah, I mean,
more games than anybody
Exactly.
else.
So you're talking about 100 games a year, a minimum.
Yeah.
As opposed to some guys just getting out 82 or not even playing a full season. That's a lot of wear and tear. And so
I honestly don't think he'll be able to, like, as far as having to carry the team. If he has to, it's not going to happen. I don't think they'll make it to the championship, like solely relying on him to be what he's been in the past.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think with how much better the West has gotten in general, like he's going to be playing tough games like every night. He's never going to like have a night where he can just take it. Well, I guess there's some bad teams in the West, but overall the West is really, really solid.
yeah, the
He's
West
going
is
to be
still
going up
tough,
against
man.
tough competition
tough.
on the reg.
Yeah.
And he already last year was hurt, so we'll see if he can keep holding up.
Yeah.
And I don't think what I was saying earlier, the Lakers are a team that they don't work on paper to me. Like
Okay.
at all.
What we got?
I don't really see how. I guess they look good on paper. They got a bunch of talent, but it's just kind of like a random assortment.
Hodgepodge of
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Avery Bradley.
good defender, but okay.
They've got who's there too? Danny Green. They've got
It's not aggressive.
Kuzma, obviously. Who
I like Kuzma.
I'm not very high on Kuzma personally. Anthony, I'm not a center Davis.
Anthony, I'm not playing a full season,
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah, also Anthony 60-game Davis.
Yeah.
And then at center, they have either the corpse of JaVale McGee or they have who's the guy?
Dwight.
Dwight.
Listen,
Yeah, that's right. That's
so
right.
yeah, let's talk about that one because DeMarcus Cousins, we're not going to let you out of.
Oh yeah.
So everybody, once DeMarcus Cousins signed, it was like, watch out for the Lakers. And I was never really high on that move in terms of it putting the Lakers any closer to.
It seemed desperate to me.
Yeah, it seemed like
Definitely.
you were reaching for straws at that point. And I understand that AD and DeMarcus Cousins played together in New Orleans. I think it was like for a season or two.
They didn't have a good time.
Yeah, not off the court. I mean, they played pretty well on the court, but
Mhm.
that relationship didn't last. And so, to me, it just seems like getting DeMarcus Cousins, who he does not necessarily demands the ball. I think Golden State just he was just able to kind of fit in there, and they just kind of strung him along in short minutes and things like that. But on this team, you already got LeBron, who's going to take the majority of the shots. You got Anthony Davis coming a close second, taking those shots, and so the shots that's left for everybody else aren't shots that are that aren't created by them. They're facilitated to them.
Right.
So the Marcus would only be like a 8, max 12-point guy.
Yeah, he wouldn't have a lot of.
And so why would you pay him a
Probably
big
clean
contract? And then like what happened, unfortunately, because you don't want to see anybody get injured, but I don't think he was ever fully healed from that injury from last year.
Me neither.
It was the same exact injury.
Same
Right.
exact
He got
injury.
again.
He
Yeah.
wasn't playing the same as he.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw that in the finals.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, he was slow.
So I mean, unfortunately for the Lakers now, you got to fill that spot, and you fill it with Dwight Howard.
Well, where else could they have gone?
I mean, well, like Mackey said, it's corpse of a JaVale McGee. I mean,
I rest
I
my
would have
case.
tried to. Yeah. I see if I were them, but it was the deal was already in the works. I would have tried to gone after somebody like a DeAndre Jordan, somebody who is a rim protector, a rebounder, can start the break for you. Then you don't have to worry about a lot of like weak side defensive help. He's a great weak side defensive
Right.
defender, but now you got Dwight Howard back there, and you don't know. And then did you hear about his contract?
No.
He gets none of his guaranteed.
Okay.
None of his guaranteed. He gets $15,000 per game. That's his contract.
So they're not even expecting.
So what? So I'm like,
They're ready to cut him loose already.
He has to prove himself.
He has to prove himself, and I mean, we talking about his 15th year, 14th year.
Yeah, he's been around.
In the league, a couple different injuries, and depending on how generous LeBron decides to be, and I don't see him playing a ton of minutes anyway. I see him maybe anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes a game.
Yeah, he can't
honestly.
give you that much.
Yeah, and I'm being generous with that.
That's
So.
if he's doing well, they'll give him more minutes.
But I don't even think I think what will happen is I think the Lakers will probably wind up playing small ball, putting AD kind of at that center position and letting him be like a stretch 5 of sorts or something like that. Putting LeBron at the 4, even though he'll be a point forward still because he'll dominate the ball, and then just having everybody else play off of that, which would definitely not match up well against the Clippers.
True.
So they're gonna have some issues.
Oh, they're just head and shoulders a worse team than the Clippers are.
Yeah.
And I would also point out they already have a coaching controversy. And the
Now,
season,
we were talking about that
it's
the
like
other day.
2 months
Like,
away
what's
from the
that?
season. There's already
Right.
drama with their coaching situation.
Now, what was that about? You familiar with the situation? I heard it, but I didn't hear the story.
Some guy named Frank Vogel
Vogel
is their
from
head
the
coach.
Pacers.
Who admittedly, I know very little about, but like,
I mean, he had that run with Paul George when the Pacers were like relevant. And I
Okay.
think he went to Orlando
Okay.
for a couple seasons.
so he's their head coach, which you're the Lakers. You get Frank Vogel. Oof. You're like a number. You're like the most valuable franchise in the league. Well, I guess the Knicks are, but you're one of the most valuable
you're right up
franchises,
there.
and you
Yeah.
can't even
Yeah, you're right.
attract like you have coaches straight up talking crap on you in public.
Yeah.
And then I guess somebody wants it to actually be Jason Kidd. The head
I did
coach,
hear that.
Which
I did hear
why
that.
I don't know because he's already not worked out.
Right.
He had Giannis and couldn't win with Giannis.
Yeah, that's
Right.
I
Just
mean,
saying, but there apparently somebody wants him to be the coach. So like, a lot of people seem to be suggesting that like if there's any slip up, there's
Then
going to be a
he's
change
sliding right
already,
in.
or like or it's at the very least like an awkward situation.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's uncomfortable going into the season. Jason Kidd is like a player's coach, so I think it was, and I don't think he's necessarily a bad coach.
Yeah,
But
Giannis did like. I mean, Giannis liked him and swore by him. So I'm
Right.
not gonna. I shouldn't talk too
No,
bad
no.
about him,
But here's the thing. Even to your point, I think that he's more suited for a team of veterans that kind of have played. They know the ups and downs. They know what to do. They know what to expect. I think
Yeah.
he's a better fit for that. A young team that's trying to find identity.
yeah.
I just don't think that's a good fit. And essentially, even with LeBron and AD and Now Dwight, I still think that's a team trying to find
Yeah.
their identity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why he would maybe make sense. I don't know.
He did come off. He came off of his retirement and went right to coaching in that same
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He,
pretty much right away, I believe.
So I mean, he has that, but
I'm
I
not
don't
high
know.
on the Lakers.
I mean, it wasn't a lot of experience.
I'm not high on the Lakers.
yeah. So we don't think that the Lakers will. Yeah. Okay. Who's next?
The team I like is the Jazz.
Ooh,
I like the Jazz a lot.
Ooh, buddy. The Jazz. Now I'll just get this out the way now, so we don't have to talk. The Jazz are my dark horse.
Oh yeah, I
This
think
season.
the Jazz are better than the Lakers for sure.
They're
My
yeah. I mean, because so the Jazz off season. I think did they have Ricky Rubio and let him go, or
Yeah,
right, 'cause they
let
got
him
Mike
go
Conley.
somewhere else because they got Mike Conley.
okay,
They
okay.
got Bojan Bogdanovic,
Bogdanovic,
too,
shooter,
who's
yeah.
nice.
Jeez, they still
Obviously
got
they have
Rudy
Rudy
Gobert.
Gobert.
Yeah,
They're another team they really like the Clippers. They really didn't lose anything, and they added.
they had some more
Pretty
pieces, and
good
they still got
talent.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
Cheap.
you expect him to get better.
I mean, that's my, and I don't even know if it might be unfair to call him a dark horse. But I just don't think a lot of people expect them to be as good as I think they'll actually be. That's why I'm calling
Yeah.
it kind of a,
Well, yeah, nobody really
dark horse.
watches their games. I feel like
yeah, because Utah, I mean,
Yeah.
Utah historically is like boring, but
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell, Gobert, your rim protector.
Yeah, I think they're an
Donovan
exciting team.
Oh yeah, and I think they're gonna give a lot of teams the fits.
And Quinn Snyder, their head coach, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I
well.
like Quinn Snyder
Yeah.
from even his college days.
Yeah.
All right, so who do they have on paper?
So we're looking at point guard would be Mike Conley. 2 would be, I guess that would have to be Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
3 probably Joe Ingles,
Joe Ingles. Okay.
shooter. Oh, actually, never mind because they added Bojan. So I guess Ingles coming off the bench now.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's going to be playing power forward and then Gobert at center.
because they lost Derek Favors. So who do they? Who do they have as forwards?
They have Ingles, but he's definitely not a 4.
Right.
They have Jeff Green. They
Jeff Green
have-
could play the 4.
Yeah, I don't actually see that much. I will say that I don't see a lot at power forward for them.
Yeah, yeah. So they
But I
may
s-
run small ball.
They got a lot of shooting, and I
Yeah.
mean with
So they'll space
Gobert
the floor.
covers a lot of space
That's
down
true.
low.
That's
so
true. Yeah, so they'll space the floor.
yeah,
Ooh-wee.
I think they're a really nice team.
Yeah, that's my dark horse. So definitely the Jazz will fall anywhere between 1 and 5. That's my prediction, and I would be surprised if they ended up at the 5th spot. Honestly,
Yeah,
even with how tough the West is, I'd be shocked if they ended up at the 5th spot.
I look at them as like the 3rd or maybe even 2nd.
That's
best
where
team
I
in
was
in the
That-
West.
Yep, that's where I was.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Next. Well, we could talk about the Trailblazers, but nothing really changed there. Except they re-signed their guys.
Well, they re-signed their guys, and then they got okay. So, how do you feel about the Hassan Whiteside edition?
Oh,
you think
that's
that
right.
tips
They added
the-
Whiteside.
Right.
I don't think that tips anything in a positive direction. It's
I-
tipping anything. It's
see,
tipping the wrong way.
I mean, based on what we've seen, it would be hard for me to argue with you. But there's this little something that's like, what if he decides to like all of a sudden
Get good.
wake up, realize that he's 7'1",
Mhm.
stronger than 70% of the NBA, and playing with one of the top 3 guards in the NBA?
He's
Like,
he's too scared of Embiid. He can never get over Embiid dominating.
Shout out to JoJo for
Yeah.
getting in his mental.
Yeah, Embiid ended his career kind of.
Man.
Maybe what's his name? Maybe Dame will talk to him.
I mean, you know, I'll say this about Damian Lillard. I think Damian Lillard he's a good team leader. I've seen him develop that over the years. Him and CJ McCullough, you know, they're right up there, top 5 in backcourts in the league, I think. They lost Mo Harkless.
They did. Is he on the Clippers too?
Mo Harkless on the Clippers?
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he is.
Oh God.
Like they need any more.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
he is.
That's just not fair now. Well, okay. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But so I mean, with the exception of losing Mo Harkless and they get don't they get their center back?
Nurkic.
Nurkic, yeah.
Yeah, they should.
He had a
nice.
decent season last season before he got injured. So
Yeah, I like him.
I would be, and see, that's what I'm saying. I think it'll be interesting to see how him and Whiteside, if they can coexist, if they decide to put them on the floor at the same time, don't know. But that's a tough front court.
Yeah.
If Whiteside decides to wake up and play 7'1".
We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see. All right, shout out to Dame Lillard. But who we got next?
Next up, I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. The Rockets.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
Well, what can you say about the Rockets? Somebody else started off. I don't want to start that.
I just seemed like a selfish situation to me. I mean, I don't know who's going to pass the ball to who.
Yeah,
But I know you got the most ball hoggingest 2 people on that team.
I mean, okay. So here's the thing. The Rockets will definitely be must-see TV. That goes without saying.
Definitely.
But you have a dynamic that, okay, they've played together before, so there's some history there with them on the floor, right? But since they've played together, both have kind of morphed into
the guy.
Super Bowl dominant players who, I mean, they put up phenomenal numbers. I can't see one team sustaining both of their play styles without somebody having to sacrifice something.
Right.
And I know they were saying you know, they were saying, you know, well, who's going to shoot? Well, who's going to take the last shot? Well, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's, you know, that's all well and good, but more than who's going to do that is who's going to be willing to be the Robin to the Batman. Like, who's going to actually be the Batman? Now, Russ might come in saying, okay, well, it's James' teams. I'm going to defer to him, but once Russell Westbrook catches a rebound and starts going downhill, Russell Westbrook is going to kick in.
He's going to be
and
Russell
I don't care if James Harden is wide open, you know, on the side. He's going to the rack for a poster. That's just what it is. And so I'm not going to get down on them right away, but I do think that D'Antoni is going to have his hands full, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, defensively, they're gonna have to change a lot. I mean, I know they bring back pretty much everybody with the exception, of course, of Chris Paul. But that whole dynamic of just run and gun, I don't see them being able to sustain a pace with Westbrook and James. That's kind of
the numbers really don't look good for them either. In terms James Harden, I think was the first ever player to have, I think it was a 50% usage rate last year.
Wow.
That alone is crazy. And then you add Westbrook, who probably, I mean, I don't know his, so I can't quote it, but it can't be that far off.
Yeah,
I think it's about the same.
Yeah, it can't be that far off. So I don't know who's gonna get the ball there. Like, it just I mean, it's bizarre to me because like the Rockets have built their whole like identity on being this like analytics like
Mhm.
numbers game style team, like
Yep.
shoot a bunch of threes and all
Yeah,
those
high
kind of
volume, yep.
all those kind of things, and then they do something where the numbers just don't seem to work. I don't really get that, but I guess they're. I don't know. I feel for them because like they've been really trying to win their
Yeah.
chip
Mhm.
in probably
Especially
the
this
worst
last
time
season.
to ever have to compete for a chip,
Yeah.
which is Warriors dynasty. So
And I, you know, with the exception of not this past season, but the season prior,
yeah, they should
to
have.
me, that should have, the Rockets should have went to
Yeah.
the finals,
Definitely
and I
should've
think
won.
they would have won. I think they would have actually beat, you know, that Cleveland team too. So
What,
Yeah.
You mean if Chris Paul didn't get injured, or
right,
basically.
if Chris Paul hadn't
Yeah.
gotten injured,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they would have won. 'Cause
Yeah,
they just had the Warriors number.
I think at this point they're just like we're just gonna literally do
See where it
whatever we
goes.
can do to get better. Maybe if it's not even gonna get better, we'll take a chance on it.
Who
Right.
else
I
they
don't
got?
know.
Who is it? Capella, of course.
They have
Yeah,
Clint
Clint
Capella.
Capella, yeah.
They have Tyson Chandler, who I didn't even
No,
realize was still in the league.
That doesn't matter. He
Uh,
doesn't matter.
They have Eric Gordon. They have
Eric
can
PJ
shoot.
Tucker.
Yeah,
Uh,
decent defender.
Austin Rivers, I guess some people like. I'm not super high on him though.
Me either.
Uh, Gerald Green, who's that again?
Gerald Green, yeah, dunker,
Yeah.
high
okay.
flyer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played
he
pretty
has
decent.
a-
I mean, basically they have guys who can be put in the dunker spot.
Yeah.
They have Russell Westbrook and
But he's
James
now
Harden.
see on that team, Gerald Green has become like a wing shooter, like a
Yeah.
space the floor guy, and you know,
well, also the spacing's weird because Russell Westbrook's not a shooter at all,
Yeah.
and like Harden's just gonna hang out around the 3 line. So there's
Exactly.
a lot of cheating that's gonna be happening on that.
I think they play Gerald Green weird minutes too. It's like
yeah, his
some nights he'll get a lot of time, some he doesn't.
Yeah, it's like random.
and that's
really
D,
weird.
that's D'Antoni to me too, because
Yeah, he's kind of doing.
yeah, he had yeah, like Mackey was saying, their whole thing is built off of analytics and putting up high volume threes and player usage and all of that. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't. Rockets will definitely be a playoff team. I can't,
Oh yeah, for sure.
won't say that, but I don't know. I don't forecast them going too far. in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
I don't know that they make it out the first round. I'm just saying.
And
It's-
depending on how the seeding goes, they may not.
Could be some drama.
Yeah,
I'll bring in a team that's maybe my dark
be
horse.
right back. They'll take over from.
Maybe my dark horse pick out of the West, and that is actually the Pelicans.
Yes.
New Orleans. I actually kind of like the Pelicans.
Yeah, well, you think about the fact that they gave up. When they gave up their key player,
Yep.
they get a whole. They got a great team now.
They got
out of it.
Yeah, they have like a full. They basically just traded one player for
Right.
like a pretty complete starting lineup,
Right.
and then also added JJ Redick. They still have Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
Obviously they got Zion, who
Right.
I'm not super high on.
Yeah. I have
But-
to see him.
Still, they got the number
First.
one pick in the draft,
Right.
and then they got another kid whose name I'm not gonna remember, who they picked like 5th or 6th in the draft, or
Right.
something like that too. So they added 2 lottery picks and 3, what a lot of people were saying was one of the best young cores in the league.
Yeah.
They just got
Basically
them
all
all
the
from LA.
Lakers.
Yeah, just all from the Lakers, and then they also now have picks, so they can. I mean, I actually think they're an interesting team to make some type of big trade or something like that potentially,
They
because they
could,
have picks
if
to
it's-
play around with.
yeah.
Because not only do they have the Lakers picks, they still have their own.
Yeah.
And then they also have Jrue Holiday, who's an older player on an expiring contract, who's good. So
Right.
that teams might make a play for something like that. I think they're a team who they have assets and talent. So I'm actually interested to see what happens with them.
That's gonna be some good basketball.
Yeah.
'Cause they, I know that, and they're like generous. They're not going. Nobody's a gun or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna play team ball.
Yeah, there's no like guy on that team who's like, this is my team.
Right.
Like there's nobody who's I think has a crazy ego on that team.
Yeah.
Which I think will be interesting for sure.
Definitely.
Also, I guess the Spurs, they're probably going to be a little bit better. I mean, well, they'll definitely be better because they get DeJounte Murray back.
Yeah. They got Tim Duncan coaching.
Tim Duncan is an assistant coach
Yes,
now
sir.
with the Spurs. That's right. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think that
Yeah.
Tim Duncan is about to become Greg Popovich
Definitely.
after Greg Popovich.
Any big man that comes there is going to just be
Yeah.
well taught,
Yeah.
well coached.
I think
Timmy D.
Yes,
I
sir.
think the Spurs will be. I don't think their playoff streak of like 20 or 21 years or however long it's been is in any jeopardy.
Yeah.
Have you guys went over what they look like on paper?
They're pretty much the same team as last year, except they get back DeJounte Murray, who's probably their best player.
Yeah, I would have to. Ooh,
Well, DeMar DeRozan's on that team.
no,
I
I'm
always
thinking
forget
of
about
DeRozan.
him.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'm thinking of DeRozan.
Murray, I think, is a really promising young player, so I like him a lot. I'm high on him.
See, the West is just so tough.
I know.
There's
'Cause-
really only a couple like not very good teams. There's
Yeah.
only like Kings, Minnesota, and
Yeah, Minnesota
I mean,
is terrible.
there are people out there who believe that Karl Anthony Towns is a great player. So I guess there are some people who wouldn't say.
Yeah, okay.
I think he needs to get traded or something.
Yeah, I don't know what his.
I don't know what his contract is looking like, but
Well,
he's not gonna. There's gonna be no success. in
And they have
Minnesota at all.
they also have Wiggins too.
Still, and
Yeah.
you don't want to prove Jimmy Butler right. That
right.
Yeah.
their work ethic was trash because that's the reason he came to
Yeah.
the Sixers. So.
Mm.
Although that's another story.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that on the Eastern side. But yeah, the Spurs, I think at best, Spurs are 7-8 seed in the West.
I think they could be. I
Think they could be higher?
Be like fifth. Yeah,
The Spurs?
I think they could. I mean that they're just a perennial playoff team.
Yeah, I mean, see, their system will have them there.
Yeah.
I just think the West is just so tough, man. I'll give the reasons why. So we've already done Houston, we've done the Lakers, we've done the Clippers, we've done the Jazz.
We did the Pelicans real quick while you were gone.
Oh, okay. Now the
Who
Pelicans.
I think are a playoff team.
Yeah,
I do too.
definitely.
Yeah.
Exact. So
Absolutely.
One of the quickest turnarounds from like
trash
looking
to
like
treasure.
you're gonna be in
Yeah.
like
Oh,
franchise
yeah.
hell to
Oh yeah.
just being maybe even better than you were.
And I'm not even pinning that all on Zion. I think as much as I don't like Lonzo Ball's shooting, he does have a high basketball IQ.
He
He's
runs
an
the-
excellent
yeah.
passer,
Yeah.
and he runs the floor like a deer.
Yep.
Same thing with
And
Brandon
he
Ingram.
plays very good defense, Lonzo. I'll give him
Yeah. Josh Hart,
Yep.
well coached guy, one of
Yep.
Jay Wright's products, so he knows how to play the game. You add Zion Williamson to that, J.J. Redick, who we
Redick.
lost to go,
They
so
had another. I don't remember who the other lottery pick was, but they had another lottery pick.
that's right, they did. Man, I forget who it was. It was somebody good too, actually.
Yeah, and then not to just repeat myself, but they also have like a couple picks from the Lakers and their own picks, and they have an expiring Drew Holiday. So I think they could even get better.
Ooh-wee.
You know,
Yeah.
if somebody's available, they could be.
Mm.
They have assets.
Okay.
Yeah, I like them.
All right.
I think
Who's up
they'll
next?
be fine.
West
So that was the
teams from
Spurs.
the West.
Yeah.
All right. Only maybe two. Well, actually, sleeper.
You know what's sad? We didn't even mention Golden State.
I know that's what I was about
Wow.
to say. I said there's only two other teams worth talking about. Oh wait,
Wow.
there's also Golden State. I just forgot they even existed there. Yeah, I don't. That'll be interesting. I mean, I think they're
don't
kind
know
of.
what they're gonna do, man.
Yeah, I think their like reign is pretty clearly done.
Yeah, I think
who do they have now?
well,
Curry
they
still,
got they still
Clay.
have Steph, they still have Draymond, they
But
still have
Clay's
Clay.
hurt.
Clay will be out for the majority of the year. They expect him back sometime in February.
I
And
wanted
guess
him in
what?
Philly so
I
bad.
still think that they'll be a playoff team.
Oh, I think that's a safe bet.
I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, now if you think about it, if they get Clay back any sooner than what's expected, the Warriors without Kevin Durant was still
Yeah, they
pretty
Won
problematic
championships
team.
and beat
But
Kevin
that's
Durant.
Kevin is not all they lost though.
well. They lost. Who they lose? They lost Kevin
Cousins.
Durant. They lost DeMarcus
They don't
Cousins, who
have
really didn't play
Iguodala
that much.
anymore.
They don't.
They
And
lost
that one
Iguodala.
is big.
That's why I don't.
That
see 'em.
one is big. Yeah, that's a big one.
I don't
Losing-
see what they're gonna
They
do.
But they
lost some
added-
guys off the bench. who were
But they
decent
added
players.
D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, I always
who-
forget that that's so weird that they
right,
added
'cause
him.
It
Like,
is
doesn't
really weird.
Make that
I-
much
really
sense.
weird. And
I
he's not
like
going to
him.
come off the
I
bench.
don't love him. I like him. I don't see.
Yeah, I agree.
I still
think
don't
he's
see him taking
he's a
them
good
any
player,
further.
but not like
Yeah. Yeah, he's
he's
not.
not like a tier
They
one
need
player
more.
to me.
They need when you
Yeah, they
talk about
definitely need
losing Iggy and people like that. They
Yeah.
need more than just
Well, and to
D'Angelo.
with bringing in D'Angelo, they didn't really like replace anything so
Right.
much as they just added a good player at a position a position and skill shooting that they're already good
Right.
at. So it's just kind of weird. Like it just seemed like they were like, oh, like we're losing these guys and other teams are getting better. There's this guy who's available. Let's just like grab him really
Right.
quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
It's gonna be, I mean, Kirk can coach though, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hell yeah.
But that's crazy. We didn't mention them
yeah,
till last.
it's crazy.
That's
how
what
they
I'm like.
fell off. Yeah.
Jeez, they
From,
were
like,
just the dynasty of the NBA.
This
Like,
time
right.
last year, this time last year, people were swearing off the season because
Yeah.
they
It was
were
like,
gonna be
they
so
won
good.
already. It's
Yeah,
over.
and now we're
now they're like a 6, 7.
Not even
seed in the
remembering
West.
to bring 'em up.
Jeez.
another team people sleep on, who's really good actually,
Denver.
is Denver. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of them until
Me
right now.
neither.
And they didn't lose anything.
They didn't lose anything, and they were what, the number 2 seed last year?
They
Yeah.
should have went. I
2
don't
seed
know what
last
happened
year.
to them this year.
Yeah.
I think if the Joker drops about 10 pounds,
Yeah.
they're gonna be a major problem.
They
It'll be a major
they
problem.
potentially get back Michael Porter.
Yeah, get Michael
too.
Porter Jr.
I mean,
back.
nobody really knows.
Yeah, you don't know what
his
he's gonna
deal
give
is,
you.
but they're basically just getting him for free this year added
Yeah.
to their roster. So
Yeah.
even if he's like a decent player, that's
Yeah, that
that's
pushes them.
something.
Yeah, that pushes them up. They still got Millsap.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray's
Jamal
gonna
Murray
continue
is
to
a
get better.
beast. Oh my God.
They got Jeremy Grant.
Gary Harris.
former
Shout out to
Sixer.
Gary Harris. He's turned into a pretty decent pro. I wasn't high on him coming out of Michigan State, but he's turned into a pretty solid pro.
Yeah, pretty good player.
You know.
Yeah, I mean they're like a team they've just got a lot of guys who can play well at their position. They're not like
Mhm.
crazy to watch or anything
Yeah,
like
no.
that. But well, I mean Jokic is kind of crazy to watch, but he's the only one.
But he reminds me of a more like athletic Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah,
Like he can pass out of the post, he can put the ball on the floor.
he's just an odd player.
He is.
Like,
Right.
But I like him though.
Yeah,
he
I
got
like
an
him too.
attitude. You know, I
Yep.
kind of like.
I
him.
like him too. I am a little angry at the NBA for giving him first team center over
Yeah,
Joel,
that was not.
but
They shouldn't have done that.
that's not his fault.
Yeah.
I won't hate on
That's almost as bad as remember the Sam Mitchell comments we heard.
Oh my God.
When he said he thinks that Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer.
Now,
Nate-
Sam, I had a lot of respect for you, especially when you played in Minnesota, when you coached and all of that.
Oh, man.
But I don't know if you had a little something offset
him.
before that show aired. But you know good and well, Dwight Howard. All right. See, here's the thing. And I'm not, because I used to like Dwight Howard.
I
He used to be one of my favorite
Orlando.
players. Yeah. The problem is, of course, body of work. You know, after that first injury, I just don't think he was the same player, and he didn't have enough that he had worked on when he was just physically overpowering everybody
Yeah.
to take his game to another level. And once guys figure you out in the NBA in this league, I mean, you got to kind of add another dimension to make yourself unguardable. So if we pack the paint, all you want to do is throw it out. You can't just go through 3 guys. You may be able to go through 2, but you're not going to go through 3. And then if we put you on the line, you're a liability. Yep. So at that point, it's like, okay, well, all we got to do is pack the paint and fan out the shooters, and we got a chance to beat this team. And so once everybody figured that out, it was like, okay, well, now he's going to, I think, where did he go, Houston? Did he go to Houston or he went to Lakers?
He went to L.A., yeah.
Went to L.A. We know how that turned out with Kobe.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So
and
I just don't.
Houston, and then every other team in the league almost.
Yeah, and so, I mean, with that one appearance in the finals against the Lakers, and didn't win, I think he might have won Defensive Player of the Year maybe once or twice.
Yeah, he definitely won that.
I mean, yeah, that's great, but I still don't think that puts him in. Definitely not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I was. Oh, look who comes in the door!
That. Big Will,
the little guy. Come on, man, pull up a chair so you can get on this mic, guy. Get out of here. So I still don't think that Dwight is. I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy to me.
He's kind of odd because like he started out so good, it seemed like, and like unstoppable, and I think people remember that like more than anything. Mm-hmm. So like you have this like memory of him like being pretty like taking a team to the finals, but that just didn't really continue. That went away. That fell off pretty hard.
Yeah, Kobe.
And he's had a lot more years of being meh than he had of being dominant. So.
Excuse me, sir. What do you think about Dwight Howard?
I don't like him anymore. Now, when did he get sorry? Did y'all talk about that? When did he just go to straight trash? He was actually pretty nasty back then.
I think his personal issues might have.
What were they? I don't remember any of them.
Me neither.
Oh, okay. So he just became trashy after his back?
After Orlando, yeah. Well, he had an injury at the end of Orlando, didn't he?
Was he completely sorry, though, after when he was with Kobe? Was he sorry?
When he went to the Lakers, it was like, I've never seen somebody so just like, well,
polarizing.
Yeah, and just like broke just the narrative on them, just like
he was done.
Falling apart.
Like
when he got there, it just started to become clear that like
he didn't
have it.
Didn't want to. I personally don't think he wanted to listen to Kobe tell him what to do, actually.
Yeah.
See, that shouldn't have took from his game, but that's the type of dude he is.
Yeah, he's one of them fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, smiley, and Kobe is like, yo, no, we're killing these guys. Right. And it was like, if you going to play, then get out of here.
He was having a good time on the bench, joking, you know.
Okay,
Kobe hated that too.
So who's next? What team?
Good old time.
We staying out west.
Smush Parker?
Oh.
Don't never mind.
Yo,
all right.
What you doing?
Yeah. All right. Oh, who's next?
We staying out west?
Yeah, I don't want
the only other team maybe worth talking about,
maybe
Dallas.
But who does Dallas have? Who they pick up?
They got Porzingis. So I mean, if he can,
Luka. Porzingis.
Well, they got Luka and they added Porzingis. So like, but they did that before free agency. But still, they're an interesting team. I mean, if Porzingis can actually play,
is he healthy yet?
I think so. I don't think
he's back.
He took
whole year off.
He hasn't played. Did. There's some crazy stat out there. There's somebody. Oh my God, I'm blanking on it right now. But he hasn't played in like almost like 400 days or something like that. There's somebody who like we think of as like has been out for like a while. I wish I had. I saw something on Instagram where there was like some player who I feel like I hadn't seen play in forever, and they were like, actually, it's been way longer. Like it's been double the amount of time since Kristaps last played, and I was like, wow. Because it's been a long time. He took basically a full season and a half, and then another off season on top of that.
Yeah.
It's been almost 2 years since he's really played. Kristaps? On the Knicks, I can check. I mean, he was
in the 20s.
He was good.
He was at
like
least in the 20s.
he was looking like serious.
Top 10 player.
He was looking like he was going to become that. I mean,
Top 10 player.
people were talking about.
Was he? Would you call him? Put him in your top 10? Put him in your top 10. Would you put him in your
I
top 10?
wouldn't.
You wouldn't have put him in the top 10 before he got hurt?
No, but people. No, of course not. But like, at the time, people were looking at like him, Giannis, Embiid, guys like that as like the like unicorn, that like next era of basketball player of these like huge.
You could start a team. Which one would you start one with?
Out of those three, Embiid. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. You don't get this. You don't get this. I don't care.
A little bit, but like
If you had Giannis, Giannis, Embiid, and
Embiid always hurt. For real, a little bit, right?
one, Embiid being hurt is an overblown narrative. He was a little bit hurt last year, but that was only because they were putting a huge minute load on him early.
So you go Giannis
Also,
over Embiid?
The year before that, to say that he had an injury problem the year before that because Markelle Fultz like smacked into his face and broken or like that's just a freak accident.
Right.
And also why I would pick Embiid is because Giannis got a little bit exposed in the playoffs. You like there's a plan.
The Sixers.
I know.
No. Aside from that lucky shot,
Nah, I don't think Embiid got
aside
exposed.
from no, he did not. Embiid was beasting.
There's not a
Embiid was beasting. Now, if you want to say, listen, no, I'm being neutral as it relate. No, I am being neutral. Yeah, and I'm not giving it to you now. In terms of being neutral, just talking about the game. Okay, did Joel fall in love with the three? Yeah. Should he have been dominating Marc Gasol inside? Sure, but no, I'm not ignoring.
But there's a game plan that stops.
He did exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. No, it didn't stop him. It didn't stop. No, but that wasn't their game plan. Okay, so that's not.
But
a game plan.
that's an easier fix than
exactly.
We've got a guy.
Exactly.
Well, but look. Here's what I'll say. Everybody in the world wants to say like, oh, Ben Simmons, like all you got to do is collapse the paint. It's kind of exactly the same thing that the Celtics did to beat the Sixers is exactly why the Bucks lost. So that's why I would start with.
How many games did they lose in? 5?
Yeah, a lot less than it took the Sixers to go down.
MVP? Was Giannis the MVP? Was Giannis the MVP? No, listen. Was Giannis Antetokounmpo? No, that's fine. Was he the MVP?
He was.
Did they lose in 5 games?
That has nothing to do with this. I'm saying who we starting the game off.
Did they lose in 5 games after he got exposed? After he got exposed, did they lose? Did they lose? Did they lose after he got exposed? Did they lose? Okay, that's fine.
I take Embiid out of those 3.
Thank you. And so would I.
These are 3 nasty guys.
Yeah. Well.
But the way you talking about Embiid is like he trash or something.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying I would start a team with Greek Freak because he is one of my favorite players and he's super talented too.
See, but and I got you. But I just wouldn't start a team. I just wouldn't start a team with Giannis. But here's the thing. Giannis is another one. That's fine. Okay, but Giannis is another guy that's like ball dominant. I've never seen Giannis get – he may have gotten a triple-double, but he's not a passing guy. When he gets the ball, that's it. You know what's going to happen.
Embiid's training?
Well,
he's training.
Giannis doesn't pass the ball though. Embiid kind of does.
So that's what I'm saying. You talking about starting a team? I'm not starting with Giannis. If Giannis is on my team, okay, I know a guy who for sure can get a bucket. I know who my high volume scorer is. But when you think of the concept of team, like, I'm not saying Giannis isn't tough. I would just take Embiid because Embiid can do more. Embiid can block shots. He can rebound. He can shoot. He can defend on the perimeter. He can do pretty.
You said he can do more? Are you serious? Hold on.
Giannis can't shoot threes like Embiid. Who shoots better?
That's just one aspect. Do you think
Who blocks shots more? That's 2 aspects.
think Giannis can do less than Embiid?
On offense,
Do you think
Overall.
Giannis can get to more places, but like I think you're talking about different things. Like
I think Embiid is more dominant.
so he could do more?
If that's what you take dominant to mean, then yes, that's what I mean.
Giannis gets to more places on the floor, so I think that's what might make you say like he does more. But if we're just looking at like raw basketball things that can be done, Embiid's. If you just look at if every stat you put up counts as just like one,
Yeah, that's fine.
right? I bet you on an average night, Embiid's coming down with a higher raw stat.
Name him. Shot.
If you combine
outside shooting, of course.
Outside shooting, who we got?
outside shooting,
Embiid.
probably Embiid. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rebounding.
Rebounding.
Embiid.
Embiid definitely.
Block
I
shots.
don't know about that.
Embiid.
Yeah.
What stats are? You're a homer. We already know. You go Embiid. You know. I'll tell you what it's at.
I think the stats. I think the stats.
Embiid-
No,
will
I'm
prove
not
that.
born to say Embiid. He's from Cameroon. What are you talking about? I'm from West Philly. West Philly.
All I'm saying is,
Go ahead.
you guys are really sleeping on Greek Freak, number one. His work ethic is being out there now, number two. He plays defense. He blocks shots. He can guard 2, 3, 4, 5, and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for his team. So when it talks about versatility and dominance, sure, but he's doing a lot on each level. Only thing he can't really do is run shoot.
I can't say he can play the one. He doesn't pass the
Picks
ball.
up and he can get
He
the
brings.
position in
Yeah.
defense.
That's
He don't pass
that's.
the ball, though. You're right.
He don't.
No, didn't I say that? Didn't I say I don't pass the ball?
But what's the name? No. I'm just saying because I'm just trying to compare each and every aspect of both of their games, and
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
he passed the
Porzingis.
ball.
Yeah, Porzingis. Well,
Porzingis,
that's the story of
I-
Porzingis. He's
well,
just
well-
going by the wayside. Out of those three, that's what I mean. To get back to why we even brought it up, that's the thing. There was
Yeah, he
three.
played 400 games.
There
I
was
don't know what
three
you,
guys,
uh,
and-
you know.
Porzingis become LaMarcus Aldridge?
I think he could become way better than LaMarcus Aldridge if
College,
he's
yeah,
healthy.
yeah,
I mean,
Texas was,
there are
but
people
no.
saying like he can't even like run right now, but like I don't think anybody really like knows. Like he's got this whole Eastern European mystique going on. Like he's been like hidden away in some like
There, like,
country.
Here's how
hitting
bad it is.
frozen meat or something
And
for the
this is
past
why-
2
exactly,
years. I don't know.
like Ivan Drago.
Yeah,
Like he's like a poor man's Karolinko right now. Like that's where he is until he proves that he's
Yeah.
worthy of a.
I think he has a
Karolinko
really.
was a beast.
I think Porzingis has a really high ceiling though.
Yeah, I do. I
Like,
think he has an upside. He just has
really
to
high
start
ceiling.
climbing and reaching. All right. Well, Dallas is
Yeah,
playoff
Dallas is-
team. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, because he definitely will. Because fan voting is
Yeah.
a significant
That's what
part
it
of it,
is.
and he's absolutely huge in that part of the world. Well, I mean, he'll be in it because fan voting is what determines the roster, and then there's some other way that they determine the starters. But
Yeah, the other
because he's just like the only basketball player from like a pretty populated part of the world,
Mhm.
he'll just get voted in. Like I think wasn't he like voted in last year, and
Yeah.
then they like put somebody else in instead.
I think they had to do that was the whole Dirk, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I
deal,
think
wasn't it?
I think they
Yeah.
just put them in and said something like that. Yeah, I want to say that.
So, I mean,
All right, let's go to the East,
who's
man.
I mean,
What
yeah.
else- what else
I mean,
is going
Sacramento
on?
is the only other team out
Yes.
there, but
Sacramento.
sorry,
Sacramento.
guys. Shout out to De'Aaron Fox, but
I actually like Sacramento, but they're still a couple years away.
yeah.
I only have time for one team in the East, so we're gonna start with
My guy.
the most important team,
Absolutely, we will.
the only team that matters.
And
Dev
uh-oh,
just
see,
took off.
Oh man.
Dev has left the building.
I'll just
Why doesn't he
leave.
Why?
Like why doesn't he like the
No,
Sixers,
but
man?
I'll say this. I think of all the teams in the East, and Dev couldn't even argue with this one if he tried, but I think of all the teams in the East, like we were saying, how the Clippers pretty much won free agency.
Yeah.
I think of all the teams in the East, the Sixers won. The Sixers won free agency.
Oh, no doubt.
In the East, with even with the controversy with Jimmy Butler, I'm staying, I'm not staying, and this and that. to be able to pick up Al Horford from the Clippers. Now, you don't expect Al Horford to
Celtics.
be – I mean, Celtics, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, I already got them, the Sixers playing the Clippers in the final.
Yeah.
With Al Horford coming in, I think – and a lot of people saying that's a Giannis stopper type of deal, which kind of makes sense. But if you think about it, Al Horford is a great rebounder. He's a great stretch four. He can pass the ball. He can rebound. And now I heard the other day that Joe Johnson is in town.
Yeah, he is.
Working out for the Sixers,
Yeah,
which would
he
be
is.
a tremendous addition to Philadelphia. And that might put us over the top in the East if we could sign Joe Johnson. I'm not just saying that because I'm a homer like Devin says, but if you think, and I'm not even going to follow the unicorn of Ben Simmons, shooting a jump shot on YouTube and all
Summer
of that,
tapes
because it still has to translate into the game.
Right.
At the
Summer
end of the
tapes
day.
are looking good though.
They look good. I mean, they look good, but again, that's against lesser competition
it.
and all of that.
And
But
LA Fitness, so.
if he can just get confident enough to shoot it and make a decent percentage, and I'm not even saying he doesn't even have to be like mid to high 40s or even 50. If he can get 30% hitting it, that's enough, I think, for you got to play him a little differently now.
I
Tobias
just
is
want him
coming
to shoot him. He don't
Yeah, that's
shoot
what I
him at
mean.
all. Just-
That's what I mean.
Even if
He's
you're
definitely
missing,
going
at
to
least
come
you're
back
trying.
and start shooting, even
Yeah.
if he's missing.
At least you're trying.
Basically,
Yeah.
if he has to,
Yeah.
it's not really an option anymore.
I mean, and they'll pretty much be the same. I mean, Josh Richardson is a
Josh
great
Richardson.
defender, and the way people used to attack JJ last year on defense, not on offense, on defense, they used to go right at JJ. You don't have that defensive liability anymore.
I am really, really high on Josh Richardson.
Yep.
He was the number one option on Miami last year.
Mhm.
They were a playoff team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number one option. He obviously they were not a very good team, so he was shooting a lot of shots where he was being guarded. His numbers off catch and shoots are like really good, and I think on our team, like that's pretty much going to be the role. I shouldn't say our team. I guess that gives
Definitely.
my bias away. But on the Sixers, that he'll have a lot of opportunities because there's so many guys driving, so much happening down low. I think there'll be a lot of just him catching and shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
agree.
he's not Jimmy Butler. I'm not going to say he is. Obviously, they're different tiers of players. But if you just look at their numbers and like did like a double blind kind of survey on
Pretty
that,
similar.
they're not that far off.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be much more comfortable here than he was on Miami, and he seems super excited to be here.
Right.
And when we played them in the playoffs 2 years ago, when the Sixers played them in the playoffs 2 years ago, he played really, really well.
Yeah, he
So,
did actually.
it
It was a nightmare.
Yeah, he was the biggest problem. So I'm really happy to have him, Tobias back. I believe in Shake Milton. I don't know how many
Shake
people do.
Milton
I do.
looks good.
Yeah, I like Shake.
We
Yeah.
still got Scott, right?
And
Still
we
got
do
Mikey
have,
back.
we have, I think, the most likable role players in the league.
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Scott and James Ennis.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
James Ennis.
James Ennis is tough.
He's always in the right place at the right time. Sixers, to me, and I am biased, but I think they're definitely the best team in the East right now. I think Milwaukee got worse, and I don't even think Milwaukee was necessarily better than the Sixers last year,
Mm-hmm.
and Toronto obviously got worse.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll come back to the Bucks, but just so Little Tree doesn't feel left out, we'll go to the Washington Wizards. No, I'm saying because you're talking about since we say no, I'm just saying, bro, because bro, I'm saying because we talking about what'd you say, homers? I'm a homer. Homer. No, I got you. So that's what.
Because Mackey at least
sit down.
talks and then he actually moves on. You stayed on the Sixers for at least a half an hour.
Mackey just
You
kept
stayed
saying
on the
we
Sixers.
and had to
But
fix
it's
it.
no
So
fight
how
back.
did I
It's
stay
no
on the Sixers
pushback.
for
It's
hours?
no pushback from you.
But how did I stay
There's
on
no
the
pushback
Sixers
from
for
you.
an
You
hour?
just boom, 66, blah blah blah. Ben Simmons, oh my God, Al Crawford.
Okay, well, see, we're
we
done
got Joe
talking about
Johnson
the
in town.
Sixers
Joe
now.
Johnson, hey guys,
So
hey,
we're talking
did you know
about
Joe
the
Johnson's in
Wizards.
town. Joe Johnson's in town. I'm getting excited, guys.
Can we get it? Is there
Guess
any
what?
way to get
Al
a cricket
Horford.
sound?
Al
Is there any
Horford.
way- Is there any way to get a cricket sound?
That's what I was doing over there.
No, okay, but we talking about the Wizards. Any way to get a cricket sound?
Pull it up. I don't care. I'm not saying nothing about the Wizards because I'm fair. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you make your theatrics.
The Wizards.
Yeah, I'm from DC,
They lost. They lost.
but that doesn't have anything
Dwight
to do with
Howard.
this conversation.
No, it does because we
No,
have
it
to go over
doesn't.
all of the teams.
I'm
You're
saying
not a
right.
home. You don't like the Wizards?
I love the Wizards.
Okay,
They had
so,
Bradley Beal.
I
Next
don't
team.
understand.
You see what I just did? You see how I just moved on like
Oh,
Mac
okay.
does?
Okay.
Mac addresses it and goes. You're like, well, wait a minute. Let's
I mean,
let's
why-
dissect the general the
what
GM
we
and the
should
general
do.
managers and
No,
let's
I
actually
never
go in
mentioned
depth.
that.
Why
I never
we talking
mentioned
so much about this? Y'all the
Yeah,
best
you,
team.
you sound bitter because your team.
I'm not
is
bitter.
not
I was
even
just
gonna make the
bored.
playoffs.
Bitter and bored. It might be
Oh, you was
unilaterally
bored?
working.
You was
out
bored?
right now. Absolutely.
Okay, well
yeah.
now you're not bored.
I was bored.
You
right
look like you're getting your blood up.
It is.
I'm about to fix it for you. 'Cause
Oh,
the
oh.
Wizards is outside looking in. Punks.
Look and see, he says about the Wizards outside looking in. Why? Just so he can feed his ego because
they-
he's a Sixers.
they-
Go and say something about the Sixers.
I'm not.
70
I'm
what?
On to the next.
Ers.
I'm on to the next thing. Mackey.
Mackey's leaving.
Appreciate you, man.
Always been a big fan of the pod. Always a pleasure to be here. Talk to y'all later.
My guy, he's getting ready for Tuesday. We back to school.
He a real
man.
one. He just walked in here. I guess made moves and he got.
He did the whole Western Conference. Now we on the East. The Wizards, all right, we're not talking about them.
We don't have to. Nothing about him.
That's fine.
You want to talk about the Sixers somewhere?
Nah, Brooklyn. I go Brooklyn.
They're the Nets. You know that, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
They're not the
Nets.
Sixers.
Can you? See, now you're still harping on it. You just like saying it.
I'm just saying.
You know we
red
gonna win.
shoes, Sixers. I mean,
That's fine. That has nothing to do with it. I'm on Brooklyn now.
Need to pay ass.
Can you pull up the Brooklyn Nets roster, please, sir? So we can move on.
Your
As
phone
you
right
said.
there too.
Yeah, but my phone's already died. That's why I asked. Obviously,
Probably
it was a reason.
Like once they died, being around you out here in the Sixers all the
Okay,
time.
well, that's fine. See, you still bringing them up.
He got his
We
phone.
gonna win.
Is your phone working? Your phone faster?
Yeah, I'm pulling them up.
He got an iPhone, so you know.
I'm actually gonna make that switch.
We got it.
My guy.
I
know.
Hey, you
can't-
said it on air.
I did.
Wow.
Because shout out to my young Kayla. Kayla convinced me. She's like, yo, Coach Dev, we see you on Instagram and you be saying a lot of good stuff and then it be blurred out and we can't say. I'm like,
Yeah,
that for real, Kayla? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, bro.
Who
Got
we
it.
pulling up? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets roster. So
And Joe Johnson's in town though, for real?
yeah, Joe is in town.
Yeah, they're working him out, actually.
They better not let him go. That's all I know.
I know.
Please don't.
Why
let
did he
that man
leave?
go.
Was he some bum sauce?
Well, no, he was on the big three. He was on the big three all summer playing.
Yeah, I know. I saw him. He was
playing with that.
killing
He was
everybody.
crushing. But I think it was just I think it was a contract thing with him, and he didn't. You know.
Hold on. If Carmelo was playing in the big three, would he be doing the same thing Joe Johnson was doing?
See, I don't,
That's
man,
a lot of
that's
space
whole
in ISO
nother-
ball.
That's a whole nother topic, man. Because
ISO Joe?
Now,
Carmelo in the mid
normally
post?
I'm up
Just-
and down.
that's
Normally
easy.
I'm up and down with my man Stephen A. Smith. That's my guy, though. You know, I remember he was covering our Sunny Hill games when I was in college. Now he's the man. But I think that thing that he had, that
yeah, I know.
show he had with Carmelo on there, I think it's some truth to the fact that Melo's being blackballed in the league. I
Sure.
honestly do.
Okay.
And so I can't really say that him going to the big three would have been the same result as what's happening now.
I'm
for
just saying,
Jalen
would he have killed
Johnson.
them? Would he have killed them? I'm not saying have
I
the
think
transfer
Me-
over
yeah,
to him
no,
getting
no,
back
I
in the
think
league.
Melo, I think Melo would have been
What
hooping.
killed the big three?
Yeah, he'd have been hooping.
He still could play.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
he's still
see
really
it?
good.
You see all the stuff he do?
Yes.
Yeah,
He can
still
shoot.
do
Yeah.
He'll play. Yeah.
And I forget when I said Brooklyn, I forgot. This is how long this week has been. I forgot they have
Kevin Durant and Kyrie
sitting
Irving
down just chilling. About
Yeah.
the,
waiting there. So, I mean, and and we were talking about that from the beginning. Like that's what kind of got the whole free agency ball rolling when Kevin
I'm
Durant.
kind of nervous about
dropped.
Kevin, though, man.
What you mean?
Like, as far as him coming back, like, because that injury, that really that ends careers. Like, and he's not
does.
getting
It
any
slows you
younger.
down.
Yeah, that's true.
it
He's
definitely
not getting
slows.
any younger. So I hope for the best with him, man. I tell you what, I was pretty mad at him when he left the way he did. Cause he was the last Supersonic, and that was my team.
Yeah. I know that.
When
Was,
Yeah, I forgot about
when
that.
he did the stuff he did after we lost to them, and he went right over and
Yeah.
joined them. That kind of. But I hope for the best now. I'm over it.
yeah.
That's-
I hope he can come back and really.
This
be,
is a solid
well.
roster, I think. You got Kevin
what you got?
Durant, Kyrie,
yeah. Dinwiddie's on there.
Caris LeVert.
Karis LeVert.
Karis
He's
LeVert,
tough.
excuse me. He's tough.
He can
He's
play.
tough. Yes.
And you got the Jared Allen young boy, the guy that played.
Yeah,
he looks
big
like
boy.
yeah, like a video game. And then we got DeAndre Jordan,
Mm.
Joe Harris, who we
Joe
see
Harris can
on the
shoot.
Olympic team now.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie or Dinwiddie?
Dinwiddie. Mm-hmm.
He can play.
Dinwiddie. Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah.
Wilson Chandler's been around forever.
He's going to sit out 25 games, though.
Oh,
Why?
yeah. He
What do you
He
do?
got tested positive for PEDs.
juicing.
I mean,
Why though? This is
you know.
basketball.
Oh, you know.
Well,
he's
I mean,
Trying to
getting
recover
older.
quicker.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Getting
Yeah.
older, he probably want to.
He wanted to work out and all of
Calm
that. I
down. Sit
understand.
down and just eat some fruit, some sea moss.
You know.
Yeah.
Just do something simple. Eat some more cherries or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Who's
All right.
Nick Claxton? What is he going to do?
I don't really know who that is.
Oh, well, he's 6'11", so.
I don't see him on my joint. You see him on Claxton?
He might have been.
Claxton.
I think I saw him play in the summer league.
I don't know, but yeah, he is tall. And then you got your Torian Prince,
Torian Prince is tough.
Jalen Hands out of UCLA, and then that might be it. Theo Pinson, okay, from
I mean,
North Carolina.
They're not a bad. They're not a bad team without Kevin Durant. I think once he comes back next year, you'll have to reevaluate what the East is. But
the East is trash. But can Kyrie get them?
no,
to
the
the
East
playoffs?
is not trash. East is not trash.
Can he get them to the
I'm not gonna
playoffs?
say that. I think he will. I don't even think it's a matter of if he can. I think he will. The East is not trash, but you don't have as many. There's Philly. Now I'm unsure about Toronto, but there's Philly, there's Boston, there's Milwaukee, and after that, with the exception of maybe like an Indiana, is really anybody's grab in the East.
Indiana has. They got Victor. Who else did they have real quick? Because we did a round of this before, but now the season.
Yeah, season's coming up, so I think if you want to pull up their rosters, you can. But from what I remember,
Who's that?
Indiana, they have Oladipo. They still have Miles Turner.
Oh yeah, forgot about Mouse.
They have Sabonis.
Oh, they got my boy. They got my guy. They got Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner. They got Malcolm Brogdon.
That's right.
Brogdon.
Brogdon,
man.
yeah.
Sabonis,
Oh man.
Jeremy Lamb, T.J. Warren,
See.
your boy T.J. McConnell.
Oh man, shout out to TJ. I'm sorry, that's my
Yeah,
guy,
man.
man.
Justin Holiday, Doug
Yeah.
McDermott, Aaron Holiday.
Dougie
They got a bro-
McBucket. Yeah, the
And
Holiday
They
brother.
related?
Yeah.
It was
Both
three of them, right?
related to
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then you got some other guys.
That's the Wayans brothers.
So I mean, they'll be all right. I think
Doug McDermott?
because Dougie McBuckets. I think because you only have like those four teams that you expect to really do, real damage. I mean, Detroit might be just outside that window. Don't know. We'll have to see. But, the Pacers will be a playoff team.
Oh, no.
Brooklyn, I think, will be a playoff team. We were talking about them. So, I'm trying to think of who's next.
I'm looking at these.
Who you got next?
I'm looking at these rosters, the ratings. If they was on video games, they got Brogdon as an 82. They got your boy McConnell, 75 rating. Victor Oladipo, 86. Well, he been hurt, right?
Yeah, he got hurt toward the end of the year.
I think Pacers going to have to play their hearts out, though.
I mean, but you know what, though? Brogdon and Oladipo, a healthy Oladipo, that's a nasty backcourt, bro.
Yeah.
Oladipo was unguardable in the playoffs
Yeah.
when he was playing.
Yeah.
So it was Brogdon.
Yeah, Brogdon's nasty. What's the other team? What's left? Who's left?
You still got Toronto.
We already know about Toronto.
Like Kawhi left game over.
Anybody?
Yeah, like-
Nobody's talking about Orlando, I guess.
No.
I'm going to read the roster out for Toronto real quick, and then
All right,
we'll go
go
to Orlando. So,
Yeah.
okay, so Toronto, we got Kyle Lowry,
Mhm.
my man Pascal Siakam.
I like Siakam.
Shout out to my youngin' Anna Winslow. I want her to play basketball like Pascal Siakam. I think she can do that.
Siakam.
We got Fred Van Fleet, who just crossed the crap out of somebody on Instagram.
Yeah.
Made a dude fly out the screen. Dude flew. He was gone. Then we got Marc Gasol. He re-signed with them, right?
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka. Oh,
Mhm.
this team not too bad, yo.
That's what I'm saying. They
I
just
like
they
Ron
really
Powell,
they
too.
pretty
Good.
much they pretty much just lost
Norman Powell,
Kawhi.
OG and your boy.
Oh yeah, OG Anunoby. Mhm.
Okay, and Patrick McCall, Malcolm Miller, Serge Ibaka, Chris Boucher, Matt Thomas, Stanley Johnson, who I thought was nice in college.
Yeah.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson. I remember
Rondé moved from Brooklyn to the Raptors. Okay, that's a
Cameron
good
Payne.
pickup. Okay.
And that's pretty much it. Derwan Hernandez. But
They
yeah,
don't know. So with the exception of Kawhi, they're pretty much the same
Right.
team that went to the finals. And I think
that's a lot. That's
in
a
the
lot to lose.
East,
Bro.
And they got Gasol.
yeah. So I think in the
Tough.
East, that's probably good enough for them to
Nope.
finish top 4, top 5.
Right.
No shooters, with the exception of Van Fleet. So Fleet's going to start now, right? That's a small backcourt.
With him and Lowry,
Kyle
I would
Lowry,
think,
Van Fleet,
yeah.
Siakam.
You said no shooters?
I don't really.
not
what's
a-
the name?
Who?
Van Fleet?
Yeah, Van Fleet can shoot.
Yeah, but
He
like
little, though, but
Yeah, that's a little backcourt.
it is.
That's a
Him
super
and Kyle
tiny.
Lowry, they small.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick? What about Norman Powell? Is he like a defensive stopper shooter? Or is he just
He's a decent shooter, I think. I don't know necessarily about defensive stopper. I know he's active. on defense, but-
whatever. All right.
Cameron Payne, where does he fit in?
Bench.
I mean, easily, but
Yeah.
in limited minutes, I think probably.
Right.
He's cool though. Like we all know they're nasty. They're in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think he fits the best on probably the second to last seat
Yeah.
on the bench.
Okay.
And you got Orlando joint?
I'm going to pull it up because that Raptors put me to sleep.
I mean,
Yes.
I think they re-signed Terrence Ross. They re-signed Vucevic.
And they got Amino,
They got Al-Farouq Amino. They still
Yeah.
got Gordon,
DJ Augustine,
DJ Augustine. Okay.
Mo Bamba,
Mo Bamba.
Bolts.
Kem Birch. Who's that?
Don't know. Yeah, they do got Markel.
They got MC Dub. Carter
Oh,
Williams.
Michael Carter Williams.
Yo, this lineup stinks.
Yeah.
This looks like a McDonald's.
Evan
I'm
Fournier,
gonna slip this card in your Happy Meal.
Melvin
Not
Frazier
bad. You can
Jr.,
shoot.
Markel Fultz.
Markel. Dang, man, I was pulling for Markel.
Hey, man.
Aaron Gordon looked funny. Y'all see this Aaron Gordon picture?
Yeah,
right here?
he looked like Joker.
Hold on, you see it, Pat? What's wrong with his face? What's going on with this thing?
Aaron Gordon
Isaac.
tough though.
Hey,
Jonathan
I'll tell
Isaac,
you what,
yeah.
man. When their picture is not by their name, I kind of don't say their name.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll just say Daquan Jeffries, Vic Law,
Oh.
Chuma Okiki.
Vic Law will put a bucket on you in college. Y'all remember Vic Law? He averaged like 40 a game or
Well,
something.
they couldn't even find a
Yeah.
picture for him
Yeah,
in the
Damn.
roster.
So that means
It's
you
real out
probably
here
not-
in-
you know.
In the NBA is real.
All right, who's next?
Next team. All right.
Like I said,
Sorry,
East,
Orlando.
East is trash.
Not sorry.
That's all of them.
Atlanta.
That's all the team.
Trey Young. Trey Young.
Oh, they got my other dude there.
He could play.
and,
Porter.
Trey Young.
Andre
Kevin
Bembry,
Porter.
Charles Brown. Who's
No,
that?
they got my man from Villanova. What's it?
John
Spellman? Amari
Collins.
Spellman? Yeah, John Collins.
Alan Crabb. Is he still playing?
Yeah.
Marcus Derrickson.
Don't know who that is.
Bruno Fernandez.
Don't know who that
No,
is.
no, Bruno Fernando was tough. He went to Maryland. He averaged like 20 last year. About
Okay.
6'10".
Brandon Goodman.
Sophomore. He's tough.
Don't know who that is.
Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter's from Maryland.
I remember Kevin Herter.
6'7" shooter, sniper.
Okay.
Yeah,
DeAndre Hunter.
He's from
Yeah,
Philly.
Yeah.
Damian Jones.
Don't know.
Alex Len. Jabari Parker.
Alex Lynn from Maryland too. 7'1"
They got Chandler
center.
Parsons too.
Okay, all right,
Oh,
Parsons.
man, that's not,
This lineup's not too bad. Evan Turner.
they still bottom tier in the East though. Like,
Yeah, they-
you know.
Whoa, you don't think this team
That's
can make a
another
playoffs?
team that's really
No,
meant to play
that's why I
that
said.
hard side.
No, I don't mean the floor. I mean, they're definitely.
They gonna have to play
anywhere
hard,
between
man.
6 to 8. I don't even put them as high as 5, but they'll be.
They're gonna have to
6
play
8.
hard.
This roster's not as bad as I thought. Trey Young,
We
Cameron
did. We
Reddish.
talked about Boston already.
Did y'all?
No, we
Not
haven't
really.
talked about Boston.
I mean, Jaylen Brown. That's my man.
Got Kimba.
You got the Olympic team. right?
Kemba, Ennis Cantor,
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Hayward,
Mm-hmm.
Romeo
Tatum
Langford.
still. Romeo Langford was tough.
He can play.
Oh,
Who's Vincent Poirier? Never mind. Marcus Smart comes back.
yeah, smart.
Of course, Tatum. What's
Taco.
that? Daniel
Taco Fall?
Ties.
They got Taco Fall.
Oh, you got my boy Carson Edwards on your squad? Carson Edwards put a bucket on you. He was a player of the year, I think, as a junior at Purdue.
That's nice. We in the
No,
league now.
no. Summer League, he was out there with that Trey Young range. He was unguardable in the Summer League. I think he
Was
almost
he
won
the little
MVP.
short dude with
Light
like
skin
the
with the-
curly? Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
No,
He's
no.
tough.
This dude's tough.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
tough.
Like, I don't even
They
like
got-
Boston
They
like
got
that.
heart.
Yeah, he's tough.
They have heart. At
They'll
least.
finish one. They'll finish anywhere between 2 and 4.
Who's Brad Wanamaker? What is he doing?
I don't know him.
He's from Philly, ain't
Is
he?
he?
He seemed like a Philly guy. He played at University of Pittsburgh. I really do think he's a Philly guy, but Brad Wanamaker played at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
With the dude that did the up fake. Remember back in the day, the dude that did that super up fake at Pitt? You do?
Oh,
Was that
okay.
Pittsburgh or Nova? Which one? Okay. Big Tree getting tired.
Okay. Well,
Oh, sorry, Mark.
who's next?
Vacation.
Nah,
Yeah, he went to Roman Catholic.
Okay, Philly guy.
We didn't talk about Cleveland.
Choking my gun.
Nobody's gonna.
desolate
no-
of life.
Nobody's gonna listen to this podcast.
No,
Hold on.
they'll be laughing right along with
Cleveland.
it. Cleveland.
Cleveland. They got
Browns.
Jordan Clarkson.
They got Kevin Love.
They got
Dellavedova
Ojo.
went back.
No, they got Ocho Cinco. Not Ocho Cinco. Who they got?
OJ Mayo.
No. They what's the
John Henson.
dude from the Giants?
Brandon Knight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I'm talking about their football team. There's no reason for us to talk
Oh,
at
no,
all
you talking about- you
about their basketball squad.
Only thing I remember about Brandon Knight is
Brandon Knight, he
he
has
got
to have
dunked
replacement
on.
surgery and gets dunked on repeatedly.
Oh, you talking about which one? Because are you talking about Dwight, DeAndre?
Yes.
Oh God.
yes. The worst two dunk ones I ever seen was the Brandon Knight one and the one Jason Terry
Oh,
with
yeah.
LeBron.
No.
And he feels slow. He just
the Dwight on Drew Holiday.
God.
I was there for that one.
Yeah,
That was
the white on Drew Holiday. I don't remember
that's
that.
terrible.
Oh.
That's terrible.
One.
Yeah, I dare not read any of these names.
Why they got a picture of Tristan Thompson holding 2 coffees? Y'all see this?
Because that's what they.
What kind of what kind of roster is this?
Ah man.
Kevin Love looked like he on an award show. Tristan Thompson got 2 coffees on in a starter jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else got other jerseys on. This nigga running the wrong way. He ain't even facing the camera. It's like, what's up with this roster? Where's LeBron?
Well, how about the Pistons?
In L.A. Yeah, Detroit.
I'm gonna root for the Browns.
Jordan Bone, Bruce Brown, Sekou Doumbouya. Okay,
Oh, he the dude from overseas.
they still
Yeah,
got
wait a
Andre
minute, wait a minute.
Drummond,
Pause. Why? Oh, okay.
Sekou's supposed to be tough though. He
Tim
overseas.
Frazier,
Okay.
Langston Galloway.
Reggie Jackson's
Langston
gonna
Galloway
hold
is
on.
tough.
Let's not forget Reggie Jackson's gonna retire. Probably a Piston. They can't let him go. He's been
Why
there his
can't
whole
they let
career,
him go?
hasn't he?
No.
He's been there
Reggie
for a
Jackson-
while though.
No, he's only been there for 2 seasons. He was in OKC.
Reggie Jackson?
Yes.
He's only been with the Pistons for 2 years.
Yes.
Wait, they might not be that bad, man.
That's what I'm saying.
they got. They got Andre.
They
The
got
Langston
Blake.
dude is okay. Blake is
Galloway.
there. Markieff Morris is there.
Okay.
Derrick Rose is there.
Mm.
They're not horrible.
Mm.
Y'all know Derrick Rose is younger than Steph Curry? Somebody pointed that stat out to me saying,
Wow.
take a guess on who's older
know
and
that.
younger. Yeah.
I
This
mean,
roster still sucks.
injury-wise, Derrick Rose is about 137 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So-
138.
easily.
This roster's not impressive.
Yeah, well,
It's not impressive, but you're talking about the East, so they'll be a playoff.
they're gonna
team.
do better than the Cavs.
Who starts off these pictures, Keith? Who's your starting 5?
Off of who?
These wild-looking pictures I'm looking at.
In
Their
Detroit?
roster. Yeah.
I mean, they all look like
Mm.
Derrick Rose,
1.
of course, Markeith.
Of course, Markeith.
You said starting?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You gonna start him and Blake at the same 3-4? That's the 3-4 right there.
no.
Andre
Oh,
with the
you
5?
you want to go from? I mean, I'm just naming the 5 players that's gonna be out there.
Okay.
It's not- you know what position they're gonna play.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, of course, DeAndre. Did I say Reggie Jackson?
Andre.
Oh yeah, Andre. Yeah. I mean, I don't see nobody else. They're gonna have to play with 4. I'm not putting the rest of these teams in.
The East just has like they have good players.
Right.
Yeah,
They'll
They,
have a good
they
team.
just have
That's-
good
that's what it is.
players on
That's
the
what it is.
East. The
Yeah.
West is
They
loaded.
just scattered, man. They scattered.
Which is the way it used to always be, but with
But
the
you
advent
got
of
that
the
one
super
team
teams
that'll
and stuff.
surprise you and go way further than you even thought.
Now the dark horse in the East for me this year would probably be these cats. I don't even think the Bulls are
Who's these guys? Oh, the Pistons.
the Pistons. Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all look at the Bulls?
No, there's probably no need to.
No. If we're gonna spend time looking at what y'all just made me watch with Cleveland,
Oh, the Bulls.
jeez,
Okay. Zach LaVine and
man, this is Wait, okay.
Wendell
No.
Porter.
They got Kobe White. I like Kobe White. So they got Zach LaVine,
Okay,
Kobe
Kobe
White out
White.
of North Carolina, big point guard.
Yeah.
They got Markican. What's his name? Markican.
Oh, Laurie Markkinen.
Markin.
Oh,
Markin.
marketing, yeah.
Mhm.
Chris Dunn over potentialed. Thaddeus
Larry
Young is
Markkinen.
like
We
he's
got
been
Otto
forever.
Porter,
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
They got
man.
Otto Porter.
And Thaddeus
They
Young.
took Otto
I
Porter.
mean, like,
They
Oh,
got
never mind.
Wendell Carter Jr.
yeah, Wendell Carter.
They took Thomas
They got
Saransky.
Bobby Portis is not there no more. Bobby Portis went to New York, I think.
Okay. Denzel Valentine, Ryan Archidiakono,
Archie from Villanova.
Chandler Hutchison's supposed to be able to get a bucket. He a rookie, I think. Okay, yeah. So this team
Yeah, no.
isn't.
Yeah, no,
The
They
East,
got
like
to
I said-
work their butts off.
it's not gonna happen.
They got to play their hearts out.
And they
Gotta
can
play
do
their
that.
hearts
It's
out.
not even gonna make a difference. All right.
Um,
The Knicks. How about the Knicks? How about
What?
those Knicks? Oh, sorry.
No, actually, you know what? The Knicks actually look like they might have a nice little
No,
backcourt.
they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, because who did they just pick up? Didn't they just somebody else? just
R.J.
go-
Barrett.
they got
and,
the dude.
and,
yeah.
R.J. Barrett. I'm a
Reggie
Tennessee.
Bullock. Is he still any good?
No, but they got R.J. Barrett.
Who's Wayne Ellington? They got Taj
Oh,
Gibson.
Wayne from Philly.
Wayne from Philly. He is shooter, sniper.
Yeah.
Taj Gibson.
You got Julius Randle, who's getting buckets.
They got the other Morris. They got the Marcus Morris.
Frank
Yeah,
Nikatakilakaka.
Frank
Nilakina. Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mitchell Robinson, the athletic center.
Alonzo
Kevin Cox.
Trier. Who's that?
Alonzo Trier will give you a
Trier.
bucket.
Okay.
He's tough.
Okay.
He'll get you 20 games.
They
we'll
basically
see.
got to play their hearts
No, he
out.
did. He did. They do. But no, he's their best scorer right now.
But
Alonzo.
their whole culture is like that. I don't even think it's just specific to players. Like
Yeah.
they just need to revamp the whole Knicks organization, man.
Well, they were
Culture
trying
is
to, I guess,
bad,
with
man.
R.J. Barrett.
But see, I don't even. And again, I didn't think RJ was ready to come out anyway. But hopefully he'll prove a lot of people wrong.
I mean,
But,
not that y'all care, but when we were in the West, we didn't say nothing about the Thunders.
was
the
not
Thunder
much to
team.
be said about.
I
the
know.
Thunder.
The
Like
Thunder
Chris
probably-
Paul don't even want to stay there. Like,
Yeah, he's
Who's the worst team? Them or
In the West?
Cleveland?
oh, in the league,
Just looking at these whack rosters.
Cleveland.
Cleveland?
And speaking, I'm getting a call from Oklahoma City right now.
wow.
Ew. Why they
That's
call
interesting.
It is kind of
That's
weird.
very.
What bill collector is that?
I don't know, but you won't get me.
Don't pick that up. Swipe red.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
nice.
Is that all y'all? Did y'all get through everything?
I think so. That's everybody.
I think, and then we just were making our predictions.
Well, we already know what you're gonna say. We already know about the Sixers.
No, we don't. I mean, I don't.
Eh.
I can't even make a prediction on the NBA champion. I can tell you who'll come out of the East. And I can tell
We
you
know.
who'll
We
come out of the
know.
West.
We know.
Okay, like
Jeez.
why you? Am I just going through it, or am I really being biased to the Sixers,
Actually, who is coming out of the West?
Out the West.
the Clippers? Is not even that ain't even up for debate. Like, it's the Clippers.
Lakers can't get them.
I'm sorry.
Lakers can't get them.
Where?
You don't think so?
Get where?
The Clippers are too nasty. I get it, but LeBron.
That's
He's
not-
been off for 4 months already.
I
That's
don't trust any team that has to play LeBron either. But the Clippers,
They're tough.
I kind of trust those guys.
just a little bit.
Oh my God.
'Cause like I said, I'm not even trying to make an argument. I didn't think the roster was that bad for the Lakers.
It's trash,
And
bro.
now you give LeBron some time.
And
Sure.
and DeMarcus Cousins is like out.
That's it for him. Will he play at all this season?
DeMarcus Cousins is like he's done. Thanks, Ejim.
So he
He's
won't
out
play
of-
at all this season.
No, it's a wrap.
So he's done for his career.
He's done for the season.
Oh, okay.
Maybe for his career. I don't know, but he's definitely done for the season. Bro.
I hope he keeps his head up. You can't go.
That sucks.
I've heard some things. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean,
That's hard to go through. It's 3
Very
years.
hard.
Yeah,
it is
it
very
is.
hard. Very hard.
You know.
But unfortunately for the Lakers, they're not the best team in town anymore.
At least they can
No.
make it to the semis. They can make the semifinals. They can make it to the finals.
Depends. No, the conference finals. I don't think so.
They can make it to the conference finals in the West.
Nah,
They can get by who?
they're not going to get by the Rockets, and I don't even see them getting by Utah.
They have LeBron James.
I know.
Okay.
We were saying earlier that LeBron, he's not going to be able to take any team as far as he normally had. If he has to do as much work as he normally has to do, I don't see him. I don't see it either.
I'm rooting for him. Sheesh. Okay.
I like LeBron, but
Okay.
I don't see it.
I still want to go to that game on Christmas though. Y'all got me thinking about that.
We gotta get them tickets.
Where?
The Clippers and the Lakers at the Staples Center, Christmas Day. I will bypass the Sixers and the Bucks in Philly to go to that game.
Don't bring up the Sixers. We're not even talking about the Sixers. You see how he just manages to talk about like we talking about L.A. and you just always want to throw the Sixers in. Calm down.
Hey.
You hype.
I'm messing around already.
Guess
Be
what?
up there. Let me.
Yeah,
see.
you be
hype
making
now.
moves. You just probably
Right.
stopping through for like 15 minutes and about to fly out tomorrow morning. You be all over the place.
I might.
That's all right. Check and see if that's where you are at. Performing that All-Star Weekend.
All right. You going to take us out, Pat? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I won't mention the Sixers, who are going to come out of the East anyway.
Hey.
But listen, guys, it's been fun. We hope you enjoyed our analysis. Shout out to Mackey Park, the statistician. Keith, don't call me Ralph Simpson.
Nah.
Latecomer, Little Tree, Devin Adams. I'm the Big Tree. And you guys stay tuned. We're still doing our accountability challenges. I might have to throw something in there and ask everybody to try like keto for a week, so I'm not the only one doing it.
He just trying to make sure he got the advantage now, so he feeling himself.
That's right.
I'll do it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'll do it because I want that burger. They bake.
Oh, bro. Yeah, let's
Shout
give
out-
him a
what's
plug. Slacks
Shout out to
Hoagies.
Slacks.
Slacks Hoagies in Port Richmond. Oh, my
It's crazy.
God.
They make. Yeah, I'll let
No,
you
listen.
explain it
No,
because I
listen.
haven't even had it yet, and
Listen.
it looks crazy.
So, I'm on the keto diet, which is primarily, here you go. Go ahead.
What? No, Big
'Cause you
Keto.
moving up.
Big
See,
Keto. That's your
that
nickname.
bull-
Keto.
So,
Big Keto.
so basically, it's pretty much low carbs, no sugar. But you can eat, meat. You can eat different cheeses, things like that. So you can eat burgers and, cheeseburgers, bacon, all that good stuff. So I went to this restaurant and they have like double stacks, triple stacks, quadruple stacks of burgers and all of that. So I'm like, all right, well, let me get a triple stack. But I need it with no bun. And they were looking at me kind of crazy at first, like, no bun? I'm like, yeah, no, I can't, I'm not eating bread. And so they were like, well, do you want it in tin foil pan or whatever? I'm like, sure. So he was like, well, you want everything kind of on top? And I'm like, sure, yeah, surprise me. So they got like one of those tin foil pans. They put mayonnaise on it. Mayonnaise on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
They put the burger on top. They put the cheese on the burger, bacon on top of that, and chopped up pickles on top of that, and chopped the whole thing up like a cheeseburger plate. Best thing I ever had. I know their other food is good. I wish I could eat it, but I'm going to give them a shameless plug now. So shout out to Slacks Hoagies, Port Richmond.
Is that your slice of pizza over there?
Yeah. Yeah, I took the cheese off of it.
He's sticking to the diet.
Yeah, I
he
ain't
ate
playing.
the cheese and left the bread.
The
So
cheese and pepperoni,
yeah.
and I left the bread. Yeah.
He's not playing. I wish I could FaceTime all of you and show you.
It looks
got-
so funny.
There is no cheese.
We gotta get Lopez back in the studio
There's no
so we can
cheese on
start
this.
taping again. Because Lopez ain't there, so we not
That's just a
taping.
weak piece of slice. Look at that slice.
All right, man,
Like,
listen.
what
Well,
have you
since you
become?
came late, now you take us out. I'm gonna eat the rest of this cheese off of this pizza.
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just happy everybody's good. Everybody been busy. Keith's back in town for like 5 minutes, and he's going to say what's up to his family for like 30 seconds, and he's going to fly back out. And
All right, Mom, peace.
yeah, see, boom. But with all that being said, thank y'all for listening. Please spread the word. Still forgot about the request on Facebook. Still doing some research, getting some stuff, and I'm going to share that with the next podcast pertaining to outlets for people that are in prison that need some help getting job assistance and stuff like that. So I ain't forget about that. I'm researching that, and
And we got updates on the financial stuff, some huge updates, so please stay tuned.
yeah, got some updates for that. We made some moves, obviously. So, make moves markets. Have a blessed evening. Happy holidays. Is it a holiday coming up? Labor Day. So, yep.
My birthday is next Friday. Yes, sir.
Who's?
Mine.
Big Tree. How old you turning?
4-0.
Ooh. Big Tree. That's perfect timing though, because now you're about to make some big moves at 40. That's perfect, bro.
Yep, that's how I feel.
How many pounds you lose?
30, 32.
You're at 32 now. That's not bad. That's good, bro. I'm happy.
Thank you, man.
Okay, I ain't gonna fry you. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I know you waiting.
Right.
I'm not.
Be ready.
I'm
You
done.
Be ready, dog.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good day. Make moves with market. Stay blessed. Peace.
All right, guys. Peace.